Good morning, Chair Golden and members of the committee. For the record, I'm Pam Marsh. I'm the state representative for House District 5, Southern Jackson County. So my home and legislative district are in southwestern Oregon, a region of the state that historically was home to abundant beaver populations in the many creeks and streams that comprise the Rogue River watershed. But today, many or probably most of my constituents have never laid eyes on a real living beaver. That's unfortunate, and not simply because the beaver is our state animal or the OSU mascot, or because of beaver significance in Oregon's history books. It's unfortunate because beavers have lost their place as a vital component in Oregon's ecological health and, in today's world, as an option for mitigating drought and climate impacts. There's no question that beaver and their habitat provide Oregonians with a wide array of benefits at little or no cost to us. For example, when wildfire speeds across forests or rangelands, beaver ponds and wetlands maintain effective fire breaks, create shelter during the fire for wildlife and range animals, and preserve post-fire habitat so that animals have a fighting chance once the fire is out. Beaver increase our water security. Their ponds store surface water and recharge groundwater. Their wetlands act as ecosystem filters and reduce runoff, improving drinking water quality. And beavers help native fish by lowering stream temperatures and by creating rearing habitat for imperiled salmon species. And yet, despite these benefits, Oregon law currently allows unlimited beaver take on private land year-round, including breeding and rearing season, even if the beaver is not causing any damage. Current state law prevents ODFW from tracking where or when beaver take occurs on private land. And as a result, we have no data to show how many beaver are killed, where they are killed, or why they are killed. Beavers are currently classified in Oregon as predators. These vegetarian mammals, known as nature's engineers, are designated as predatory animals here in the beaver state. House Bill 3464 is common sense legislation that will remove beavers' predatory animal status, which will shift beaver management from the Department of Agriculture to the Oregon Department of Fish and Wildlife, which will allow the state's wildlife professionals to manage beaver on private land in Oregon and to collect data for understanding beaver populations. The bill does four things. First, it removes the current predatory animal status for beaver. Under this reclassification, beaver then would be considered fur bearers and managed under existing fur bearer regulations by ODFW, as they currently do for other wildlife. Landowners wishing to remove or kill a beaver would contact ODFW for a permit, the same process that currently applies to other fur bearers, including raccoons and foxes. Second, the bill protects landowners by allowing the take of beaver without a permit in response to imminent threat to infrastructure and/or to agricultural crops, and by upholding the provisions on beaver take under the Private Forest Accord for all private forest land owners. Third, the bill requires landowners to report all takings to ODFW, enabling the agency to collect the data needed to understand the presence of beavers and to support their ability to foster resilience on the landscape. And fourth, the bill directs the Commission to consider rules for permitting, reporting, and ways to encourage coexistence with beavers. Under House Bill 3464, acquiring a permit to take a beaver requires one point of contact with ODFW field office staff. That's a moment for ODFW to talk to landowners about potential voluntary non-lethal tools that they can use for their specific conflict situation. But if a take is necessary, a permit for that can be issued in as quickly as 30 minutes. ODFW already has an existing system for issuing permits in response to damage by fur bearers. This is just another species that will be added to that list. Colleagues, beavers have a significant role in mitigating drought, wildfire, and other climate impacts. I ask for your aye vote on House Bill 3464. But before I abandon the mic, I would like to express my deep appreciation to my colleague, Rep. Owens here, and others who really helped us identify concerns with the bills and to help hopefully mitigate those by the adoption of amendments on the House side, specifically amendments that I referenced in my testimony that will allow the take of beavers without a permit if there is imminent threat to infrastructure or to agricultural crops, and to additional language that exempts anyone who is affected by the forest accords from many provisions of this bill. Very much appreciate the partnership there. Very grateful for that, and hope you will look positively at what we have now.